This is another evening that I don't have much to say, but I continue to do these not because I anticipate that something is going to come out of my mouth that works. I do these because it's my way of trying to deposit the information that I've acquired throughout the day, the different ways that my brain has changed shapes throughout the day. Try to record here, and maybe in the future be able to use that to piece together how some thought that I don't yet know exists in some form in my head came to be. If I talk about the things that I'm thinking, then that allows me to trace where those thoughts came from, how they came about. It allows me to deconstruct larger ideas that when I have them suddenly feel as if I've always had them. I know there are times that I've done this with writing, where I will write something and it will feel like something that I've always known or always believed or always felt or something, and then I'll look for evidence of it in previous writing. I know that I had this sort of feeling or realization or perspective when I was in college, and so I'll go back to that notebook that I wrote in college and look for traces of it there. You know, for maybe as a prop, I have this. I'm wearing this bandana through most of the day because I found it in a bag somewhere. I think it was something I was letting Holly play with it. So I, as a prop, as a way to make this more interesting, right? I was thinking about maybe I'll just try to wear this in a bunch of different ways. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect. This describes this channel perfectly. This describes what's happening here perfectly. Yeah, so like I said two things. Originally I said that I was doing this for the purpose of having something for myself to reference in the future. This is my journal, right? But then also I said, if I were going to share my thoughts, it's often better to share the process of making thoughts and having thoughts than it is to share necessarily where I ended up, because maybe somebody would want to take the raw ingredients of my thinking and purpose them towards something else. And that's fine. That's fine. Maybe the things that I'm thinking challenge something in somebody who happens to see this, and in challenging them in some way, I will help them to produce a thought that they were actually well on their way to already making and didn't realize it until they needed a little push or something. So sometimes thinking itself is better than the thought. I mean, I'm inclined to believe that there are answers, and therefore the purpose of thinking is to find those answers or develop them. But I'm also starting to believe that there are people, and those people have experiences, and those experiences are what have meaning, and that an answer only applies in a context, and the context is very much about experience, individual experience, shared experience, and understanding one another's experience. So answers, I guess, are every bit as much a part of the experience that goes into making them and shaping them and where they exist and when and for who, as they are whatever that end result is, whatever that end answer is. So what I'm trying to argue for while doing this is that it's the process of thinking that counts. Looks like Lainey went to bed earlier tonight, and I'm tempted to call it on account of that. That's fine. It gives me an excuse to cut it early. I don't know if I covered all the things though. I don't know that I need to cover all the things. Today's Super Bowl day. I don't normally think anything about that. Somebody said There were a couple of comments that I saw as I was setting this up that said the halftime show today was a mess, and so I decided to check it out because usually that means that there's something in there for me. When somebody else thinks something is a mess, usually means that there's something in there for me. But I did watch it. I do have thoughts, but it's all right there. Like there's no thoughts to be had. It has a perspective. I don't agree with the whole perspective, but it does seem like it covers everything. So what else? What else? I'm gonna call it. Have a good evening, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.